From a young age, we're taught to treat others with kindness and respect, following the golden rule of treating others how we'd like to be treated. This mindset typically follows us into adulthood. But is it possible to be too nice? The world isn't perfect, and good deeds aren't always rewarded. In this video, we explore 11 reasons why being overly kind can actually do more harm than good. If you're a super nice person, you might encounter these issues. People will start taking advantage of you. Some folks view friendliness as a sign of weakness, thinking you're a pushover who can't stand up for yourself. They see it as a green light to manipulate you. Once you start doing everything they ask, they'll start seeing it as something they're owed and will walk all over you. As soon as you say it's all good, they'll keep demanding more and more. When intelligence is seen as a flaw, it's often met with disdain and contempt. "Oh, you think you're so smart?" they'll say. If you're bright and kind, people might not appreciate it. For example, at a government office, being rude is often more effective. They might appreciate your politeness, but they'll deal with the screaming bully first because he's demanding immediate attention. You're just a nice, harmless person who can wait, while getting that wild animal out is the priority. That's the messed up logic. Don't let people use you. Be aware of the situation and act accordingly. But don't become a villain either. Just don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and your interests. Excessive kindness leads to lying. Being too nice can become a roadblock to the truth. Some people prefer to hide the truth to avoid conflict, often resorting to white lies. They might fib to preserve a relationship, avoid upsetting parents, or save face. But lies always come out eventually, and you'll have to pay back the advance you took from the truth bank. Lying for the sake of kindness or conflict avoidance is universally seen as wrong. It might not happen all the time or to everyone, but for many nice folks, it becomes the norm. Your boundaries get violated. When you're too nice, you don't defy people, so they see it as permission to walk all over you. They'll push your boundaries to test your flexibility. Usually, if you object, they'll say it was just a misunderstanding and gaslight you. Sometimes it genuinely is, but use your logic to spot manipulation in time. If you're too friendly, people will notice and start ignoring you since you don't seem to demand respect even from those who don't return the friendliness. It gets harder to say no. If you struggle with saying no, people will start taking even negative responses as agreement and will keep pestering you with requests you don't want to do. Coworkers will see you as someone who can't say no and will burden you with their problems. Learning to say no makes life so much easier. How to start vocalizing it? Easy. Just envision yet another evening stuck with piles of paperwork you're doing for a friend while they're out clubbing or dining. Spend 2 days saying no to any request outside your responsibilities, and you'll be amazed at how much free time you gain. Those who please the mob forfeit their own interest. Nice guys finish last. Not everyone is compassionate. Some will do anything to get what they want. They don't care about others' feelings, they're selfish, and likely don't even realize it, or maybe they just stopped being nice at some point. Researchers found a link between agreeableness and income. It turns out nice people earn significantly less than their nasty colleagues. Scientists measured people's levels of pleasantness and compared it to their salaries. By pleasantness, they meant the drive toward warmth, kindness, and cooperation. It was found that those lacking these traits earned 18% more than the friendly, caring ones. For women, the gap is smaller. Unpleasant women made only 5% more than those exhibiting warmth and kindness. Excessive kindness distorts your worldview. People drenched in niceness often have a completely warped perception of reality, harming themselves and sometimes others too. The nice and naive tend to judge others by their own standards and make mistakes. The world is far from kind, and will likely not extend that courtesy to you. When their rosy expectations aren't met, it's suffering for the nice folks. It's one thing when it happens in isolation. You can feel for that person and try to help. But it's much worse when the delusional nice guy starts dishing out advice, painting a sad picture. He genuinely thinks he's giving valuable guidance by spreading kindness, but in reality he's just sowing inadequacy. His advice could lead to dire consequences. He who is truly good must be able to be as truly evil when he encounters evil. Otherwise, his goodness is mere naivete and is worth little from society's standpoint. Lack of self-care. Kind-hearted people tend to invest a lot of time and resources into others. They feel good seeing someone sad, so they offer their help. This way, the nice folks deplete their own resources when far from everyone deserves their kindness. Yet the person most in need of it is you. Plus, you compromise and do things in others' interest zones. If you spend all your time helping others, you'll have none left to help yourself. A perpetually nice person can expect to be nailed to the cross eventually. Excessive kindness feeds evil. Yes, being too nice enables evil to thrive. Overly kind people find it hard to firmly resist evil. Seeing their indecisiveness and weakness, evil gains confidence in its ability and impunity. For your average little person, it emboldens similarly small-scale evil. Blatant rudeness gets labeled a difficult personality. That's just how they are. We should understand. So the evil gets fed and grows a bit. Soon enough, that jerk worms his way into a position of power and starts doing big-time evil, all because no nice person was there to nip it in the bud. When virtue is undefendable, it becomes vice. You may seem suspicious. Just like there's no such thing as a free lunch, there's no such thing as an extremely nice person without an obvious reason. People may start wondering what you're hiding behind that kindness. What ulterior motives are you pursuing? Excessive friendliness can also prevent you from forming real bonds, as you may come across as insincere. Nothing is so silly as the prayer of the fancy, "Make me a little kinder." It is an acid that corrodes the whole fabric. People will expect more from you. Once you earn a reputation as somebody who agrees to everything, people may misinterpret that. When you start standing up for yourself and try to change the established dynamic, they'll be let down. If you deny them something, they'll say, "You used to be so nice, what happened?" Even if your refusal is well justified, it'll seem selfish compared to your usual behavior. Excessive apologies. Nice people hate seeing others suffer, so even when they're not at fault, they still apologize to make the other person feel better. But the problem is, an apology implies admission of guilt. By saying, "I'm sorry," you're taking responsibility when you did nothing wrong. It's crucial to understand that you shouldn't apologize if you're not guilty. Taking ownership of your choices and actions is mature, but never say sorry for others' mistakes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss new helpful videos. Until next time, friends.